Hello and welcome. Today we're journeying deep into the heart of Central Asia to uncover the epic history of Turkmenistan. This is a land of vast deserts, ancient cities, and a story shaped by nomadic tribes, powerful empires, and a modern struggle for identity. So, saddle up as we ride through millennia of history, from prehistoric settlements to the independent nation we know today. Our story begins thousands of years ago. Long before the Silk Road, early communities thrived here. Archaeological sites like Anau and Namazga Tepe reveal that as far back as 3000 BCE, people were farming, raising animals, and creating intricate pottery. They were pioneers, developing some of Central Asia's first irrigation systems, which turned arid land into fertile oases. This ingenuity laid the groundwork for what was to come. As trade routes began to connect the great civilizations of the ancient world, Turkmenistan's location became its greatest asset. It sat squarely on the Silk Road, the legendary network that linked China with the Mediterranean. Caravans loaded with silk, spices, and precious stones traversed its deserts, stopping at bustling oasis cities. Places like Merv, Nisa, and Konya-Urgench weren't just rest stops. They were vibrant hubs of culture and commerce, where ideas, technologies, and religions from across the globe met and mingled. By the 6th century BCE, the mighty Persian Achaemenid Empire stretched its influence into the region, incorporating it into the satrapy of Parthia. The Persians brought administration and infrastructure, but the fierce, independent spirit of the local nomadic tribes was never fully tamed. 2 centuries later, a new force arrived, Alexander the Great. His armies swept through Central Asia, and after his death, the region fell under the control of his successors, the Seleucids. But their grip wouldn't last. A new, homegrown power was about to rise from the very heart of this land. This brings us to the Parthian Empire, one of the ancient world's true superpowers. Originating from this region, the Parthians established a vast empire in 247 BCE that stood as a formidable rival to Rome. Their capital, Old Nisa, located near modern-day Ashgabat, was the center of their power. The Parthians were legendary horsemen and archers, blending nomadic warrior traditions with sophisticated urban administration. After the Parthians faded, the Sassanid Empire took control, ruling until the 7th century, and establishing Zoroastrianism as the dominant faith, though the Silk Road ensured that Buddhism and Christianity also found a home here. The 7th and 8th centuries brought another monumental change: the arrival of Islam. Arab armies spread their new faith across Central Asia, and the people of Turkmenistan gradually converted. Islamic culture and the Arabic language became deeply ingrained in the society. Under the Abbasid Caliphate, the region experienced a golden age of learning. The city of Merv, in particular, blossomed into one of the largest and most magnificent cities in the world. Its libraries, schools, and mosques attracted the brightest minds, making it a celebrated center for science, philosophy, and poetry. Around the 10th century, a new people began to define the region's identity. Turkic tribes, the ancestors of modern Turkmen, migrated from the steppes, bringing their language, customs, and nomadic lifestyle. The name Turkmen emerged to describe these groups, who were a unique blend of Turkic and local Persian cultures. Renowned as skilled horsemen and fierce warriors, their society was organized into clans and tribes, with loyalty to kinship being paramount. They roamed the vast deserts with their herds, their lives dictated by the seasons and the needs of their animals. One of these Turkmen groups, the Oghuz Turks, would go on to change the course of world history. In the 11th century, they founded the Seljuk Empire, a colossal state that stretched from Central Asia all the way to the Middle East. The Seljuks were champions of Sunni Islam, patrons of monumental architecture, and promoters of art and learning. Under their rule, Turkmen tribes spread far and wide, leaving a lasting cultural and political mark on Persia, Anatolia, and beyond. This was a time when the Turkmen were not just inhabitants of Central Asia, but masters of a great empire. But empires rise and fall. In the early 13th century, a storm from the east descended upon Central Asia, the Mongol armies of Genghis Khan. The invasion was catastrophic. Flourishing cities like Merv and Urgench were razed to the ground, their magnificent libraries burned, and their populations decimated. The region's prosperity was shattered, and it would take centuries to recover. Later, in the 14th century, the conqueror Timur, also known as Tamerlane, brought the region back into a powerful state centered in Samarkand, but the scars of the Mongol invasion ran deep. From the 16th to the 18th centuries, Turkmenistan was a patchwork of tribal confederations rather than a unified state. Powerful tribes like the Teka, Yomud, and Ersari controlled different territories, often clashing with each other and with neighboring powers in Persia and Uzbekistan. While their internal divisions made them vulnerable, the Turkmen were famous for their fierce resistance to outside rule. Their mastery of desert warfare and horsemanship made them formidable opponents for any invading army. This era cemented their reputation as a proud and independent people. The 19th century brought a new imperial power to the region, Russia. Engaged in the Great Game, a strategic rivalry with the British Empire for control of Central Asia, the Russian Empire began its southward expansion. The Turkmen tribes resisted with incredible ferocity. The defining moment of this conflict was the Battle of Gayoktepe in 1881. Russian forces laid siege to the Teka Turkmen fortress, and the battle ended in a brutal defeat for the Turkmen, with massive casualties. After this, Turkmenistan was gradually absorbed into the Russian Empire. The Russian Revolution of 1917 ushered in another transformative era. Turkmenistan became part of the Soviet Union, and in 1924, the Turkmen Soviet Socialist Republic was formally established. Soviet rule brought radical changes. The traditional nomadic lifestyle was suppressed, and forced collectivization and industrialization were imposed. While the Soviets introduced widespread literacy and modern healthcare, they did so at a great cost, attempting to erase traditional Turkmen culture and imposing a new, centralized way of life. The country's vast natural gas and cotton resources were exploited to fuel the Soviet economy, while political dissent was ruthlessly crushed. In 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed, and Turkmenistan seized its chance for sovereignty, declaring independence. Its first president, Sapar Murat Niyazov, took the title Turkmenbashi, or leader of all Turkmen. He ruled with an iron fist, creating an extensive cult of personality around himself. His book, the Runama, became a mandatory spiritual guide for the nation, woven into every aspect of public life. After his death in 2006, Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov came to power, continuing an authoritarian style of governance while overseeing large-scale construction projects. In 2022, power transitioned to his son, Serdar Berdimuhamedov, continuing the family's rule. Today, Turkmenistan is a land of contrasts. It's known for its immense natural gas reserves, the otherworldly beauty of the Karakum Desert, and its carefully preserved cultural traditions, like intricate carpet weaving and the revered Akalteke horses. Yet it remains one of the most closed and tightly controlled societies on Earth, navigating its path as an independent nation. The history of Turkmenistan is a powerful testament to resilience. From the ancient farmers of Anau through the golden age of the Silk Road cities, the rise of the Seljuk Empire, the devastation of the Mongols, the fierce tribal resistance, and the rigid control of the Soviet era, the Turkmen people have endured. They have adapted and survived, all while holding on to a distinct identity rooted in their nomadic heritage and rich history. Modern Turkmenistan continues to balance this deep, complex past with the challenges of the 21st century. Its story is a vital thread in the grand tapestry of world history. Thank you so much for joining us on this historical journey. If you found this story fascinating, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into history. We'll see you in the next one.